Welcome back to another honest smartphone review. Which is the best big display bezel-less phone from China right now? Watch my video and you'll find out. Are you in the mix of choosing between these two bezel-less phones? Hey guys, this is Stephen Fox and this is the time you've all been waiting for. Meizu Alpha versus Elephone S8. The bezel-less monsters compared. Right, let's meet our contestants, and first is the Elephone S8. Quad HD display, Helio X25, 22 megapixel Sony camera, 4K video recording, Android 711. Nougat and the Meizu Alpha is just Full HD with the Helio P25, dual rear cameras, 4000 mAh battery, and it costs around $50 less. As you can tell, both phones are for those who want a big display and a gorgeous one. That is with very thin bezels and very good screen to body ratio. Since both phones deliver quite good on that promise, as you can see. Now the Meizu Alpha is definitely the bigger device here compared to the Elephone S8, and it's heavier, maybe around 40-50 grams more. Don't have an actual scale. Both phones are very solid when it comes to build quality, but the Meizu Alpha is made out of glass and the Elephone S8 is made out of glossy plastic. Which one is more durable and better? It's up to debate, but I do prefer the Elephone S8 because it's lighter and it already took a fall, as you can see here. The call quality on both devices is very good, but the Meizu Alpha being bigger, it's a bit more cumbersome to work on. Both feature front fingerprint scanner and both have very tiny bezels, but the Elephone S8 has maybe a bit thinner ones and definitely a smaller bottom bezel. What the Meizu Alpha has and the Elephone S8 hasn't is a 3.5 headphone jack. Both don't have notification LED, and since both come with 6-inch display, the Elephone S8 is higher resolution at Quad HD or 2K, while the Meizu Alpha is at Full HD. Here you can see both phones outside deliver very good sunlight visibility, with the Meizu Alpha just being a tad brighter than the Elephone S8. But when it comes to color reproduction, I do prefer the more natural colors of the Elephone S8 on the left to the Meizu Alpha. But one thing is for sure, both phones are absolutely incredible value for a big display phone at around $200, and whichever one you pick will definitely be okay with you, and both deliver very good viewing experience. It's very hard to tell them apart, and here is an indoor test with the video. You can see great display IPS quality, with again the Meizu Alpha below showing brighter colors and a brighter panel in general, more saturated colors. But the Elephone S8 has a more feature-rich display with the clear motion video technology and the chameleon display feature, which represents better lights and better whites. When it comes to benchmarks, both phones score pretty good, but the Elephone S8 definitely has the P25. The Helio X25 is a deca-core chip with better graphics, and we'll definitely check on later for my review for the gaming and actual world performance between these two. But as far as benchmarks are concerned, the Elephone S8 is faster, and here you can see the boot loading. They took quite long to boot, so that's why I've sped up the video. And as you can see, the Elephone S8 boots much faster than the Meizu Alpha in general. Now let's check the fingerprint quality. And the Meizu Alpha has a faster fingerprint scanner. Next up is the GPS test, and this is from inside my house, which is very difficult to get a GPS lock-in, and the Elephone S8 is a bit handicapped because it doesn't have a SIM card in there, but it will have a lock, as you can see, and it's better GPS than the Meizu Alpha. And now let's check the speaker quality. Both phones deliver a very stock-like Android experience with an added app drawer and practically no bloatware inside, but the Elephone S8 has a higher version of Android 7.1 Nougat, while the Maze Alpha is running Android 7 Nougat. Now the actual difference is nothing between both softwares, and here is a few tests, see how it opens apps. And as you can probably have already guessed, the Elephone S8 is a faster performer with the Helio X25. It just opens apps quicker and switches between them quicker as well. When it comes to RAM management, both phones are actually pretty okay with 4 GB of RAM. I'm sick and tired of people, thinking that 4 GB of RAM is definitely not enough. 4 GB of RAM is super plenty for any user out there, and both phones deliver very good multitasking capabilities, very good RAM management. But again, it's my personal opinion that the Elephone S8 edges the Maze Alpha just because of that much more premium Helio X25, because it's a flagship chip. And as you can see, when it comes to very heavy apps like opening Skype, the difference is definitely not minimal between both phones here. And let's check out some newsfeed apps now, like Imgur, Instagram and Tumblr. Again, the Elephone S8 is faster, and even the scrolling, as you can see, is much smoother on the Elephone S8 when it comes to the Maze Alpha and the performance with newsfeed related apps. Now, as again, I would like to point out that the Maze Alpha costs around $50 less, so the comparison is not actually fair. The Maze Alpha does hold its own in multitasking as well, and when it comes to internet browsing using Google Chrome, both phones actually perform very similar, because they're both very well tailored for a good browsing experience. Again, the Elephone S8 might be just a tiny bit faster, but the difference here is negligible while browsing, and both deliver very good browsing experience. Even when opened 4, 5, 6 tabs on Google Chrome, stream between them, there's hardly any lag, and very decent performance in browsing, even on heavy sites with lots of video ads and news feeds like Sky Sports and GearBest here. Now, having using both phones for quite a while, as I've only said much more, and the performance is really okay on both devices. But now let's check how fast they load games, because here there is a big difference as well, and I'm pretty sure that's mostly due to the Helio X25. Again, higher RAM speeds, better management and faster architecture in general. As you can see, even the simple 3D games like Temple Run 2 load much faster on the Elephone S8. And in general, the gaming experience I will show later on actual gaming tests, but first we'll stick to loading the games to check the RAM management and loading speeds on both devices. And this is something, again, very important in your daily life, and one of the things I really hate about Android games is they all want to connect to the internet, and it's a real pain waiting for around a minute and a half to be able to play your favorite game. But this is what you can do. And again, as you can see here, the Elephone S8 loads Modern Strike very fast. All of the games I'm testing here are free from the Play Store. I do not do tests with paid games such as GTA, NBA and whatever, because those games you can actually download and test on the phone yourself, and those are very heavy games that I'm running here, like CSR Racing 2, which for me is the best looking racing game on Android right now, Modern Strike Online, which is kind of the Counter-Strike for mobiles right now, and later on I'll also test Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is again a very intensive 3D title. Those are not light games, as you see other YouTubers test with like Fruit Ninja and mainly the Temple Run game, which I used for the start. These are actual very heavy games that do stress your device a lot. Now let's run Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is one of the latest and best looking games also on Android right now. And again, we see the Helio X25 edging out the Helio P25 in the Maze Alpha, but I'll leave you to enjoy the actual gaming tests on both devices, so you can definitely see the frame rate comparison between how they run, because benchmarks and loading times are just half of the thing. Now let's see Maze Alpha running CSR Racing 2. As you can tell, the graphics on this game are amazing. Very much console PC quality graphics as you can get on an Android game, and the game runs smoothly on the Maze Alpha, although you definitely can notice a few frame drops in here. And this is the same game running on the Elephone S8, and you can definitely tell that the frame rate is higher and the game runs smoother. However, both devices deliver a playable frame rate with the Elephone S8. I think maybe around 15 to 20% better frame rates than the Maze Alpha. And this is Modern Strike Online. So this is like the Counter-Strike of Android right now, and it's a game I really like playing. You just pop in, very quick loading, and there's plenty of matches populated. You just go in and just start playing the game. And as you can see on the Maze Alpha, this is not the most intensive 3D game, but it does stress the phone a lot, and both devices deliver a very good playing experience. Now, you do have to know that the Elephone S8 has a much higher resolution and renders the games at a higher resolution, so this takes more toll on the GPU, and even as such it delivers, I think, better frame rates than the Maze Alpha. Here's me trying to get a kill here. Die already. Yes, win. Damn, I'm good at this game. And here is a brawler, 3D brawler, one of the best ones on Android. This is Marvel Contest of Champions, one of my personal favorites. Again, free from the Play Store, which you can download and test on your phone yourself. And you can see again the Maze Alpha delivers decent and playable frame rates. However, you do notice there are some frames skipped, but the overall experience is again very good, considering this is a $180 phone we're talking about with this awesome display quality. And here is now the game running on the Elephone S8. I do believe there is some graphical effects here that are better, and I think that the game itself benefits from the Helio X25 more. The frame rates are not much better, but as I can tell you, and I want to tell you again, that the Elephone S8 renders it at a higher resolution, so the quality of the graphics is more crisp. Now, to charging and battery life, both phones use a USB Type-C connection for charging and for transferring data. However, the Maze Alpha uses a longer USB Type-C extension here, and it will not be charged by a regular USB Type-C cable, the one you can get from your store. So you do need to know this if you don't have your Maze Alpha supplied cable. If you want to buy a spare, make sure you get a longer connector for it, because otherwise you won't be able to charge your Maze Alpha with another USB Type-C cable. But the Elephone S8 doesn't have this issue, and you can charge it with any USB Type-C cable you have with you. Now, seeing battery life, both phones deliver very good battery life considering the screen size, with the Maze Alpha probably edging it a bit. With the Elephone S8 you get around 4.5 hours of screen on time, with the Maze Alpha 5.5 hours, but that is mainly due to the low resolution on the Maze Alpha, which is Full HD compared to the 2K display on the Elephone S8. But both phones deliver around 7 to 9 hours of screen on time if you're viewing videos from the internal storage. However, the charging times on the phones are very different, as the Maze Alpha takes around 3.5 hours to fully charge, while the Elephone S8 uses Pump Express feature from the Helio X25 and can be charged in just under 2 hours. And now it's time for what you all want to know, the camera comparison. It's one of those cases where dual rear cameras come up against a single sensor, and this is the Maze Alpha here. It delivers okay quality photos, especially when they're up close, and the SLR or bokeh effect is okay, but the phone is very laggy while doing it, and it's more like a gimmick. So onto actual photos, the Maze Alpha doesn't handle well dynamic range. Photos are softer than I would like, and there's not that much detail. Close-ups are actually much better than landscape shots, and there is no face detection autofocus. So when shooting moving vehicles, you definitely have some blurry images, and low light performance is definitely not a strong part of the Samsung f2.2 sensor in the Maze Alpha, but it's okay considering the price point. Now the Elephone S8 delivers much sharper photos with better dynamic range, not so much overexposure, more details because the sensor has more megapixels, not that it really matters in actual life, but here it actually does, and the quality is much better. Even the Elefone S8 is good for some low light shots. Don't think it's like great low light performance, but it's definitely very decent considering this is again a very well priced phone. When it comes to front cameras, the Maze Alpha for me is barely okay and a bit of a disappointing, especially when it comes to the video quality, because it's just 480p and definitely not okay for vlogging in my books.
This is the video of the Maze Alpha. It's a very good phone actually. I'm not amazed by it, but very decent.
Compared to the Elefone S8, Sony sensor on the phone is 8 megapixel and it delivers much better selfies quality, much better selfie game, and definitely much better vlogging video, and actually the microphone is better as well. You can see how much more detail you have in the shot, and the camera is much more detailed images, and definitely can do better with compensating for less and more light. Now the Maze Alpha's Full HD video is definitely okay when it comes to quality on a good sunny day, but it does have a bit too much focus hunting going on, and if you plan to shoot this at night, the sensor gets very laggy, because as you can also see here, it gets slow when it tries to compensate from less and more light. It's not the best video in the world, but it's definitely okay. Now compare this to the Elefone S8, there really isn't any comparison at all. The Elefone S8, not only does it shoot 4K video, but in general the sensor delivers much better video quality. And now it's time to wrap it all up between the Maze Alpha and the Elefone S8, which is the best bezel-less display monster from China. So in the end, as it turns out, both phones are actually pretty good considering the price point. The Elefone S8 for me is the superior option with the more powerful Helio X25, much better cameras and lighter, and yes, more bezel-less than the Maze Alpha. But it costs around $50 to $60 more than this here amazing display beast. So if you're willing to compromise a little bit on camera and that bottom bezel and a bit of weight, the Maze Alpha is definitely an awesome budget option for all of you considering a big display phone. Both phones really good. Maze Alpha, a very good cheap alternative to the S8, but the Elefone S8 is definitely the real deal when it comes to a flagship phone at an affordable price. This has been Stephen Fox. Thank you for watching my Maze Alpha versus Elefone S8 comparison. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel for more honest opinions. If you really want to help my channel, please share my videos so your friends can watch them as well.
Stick around.